Alright guys, today we're going to do the carbon fiber steering wheel we picked up yesterday. We got a pretty good deal on this wheel actually. We got it off a guy on Facebook Marketplace. It was like half price. So brand new, never installed carbon fiber wheel. These are like 1100. We got it for 450. So guys, definitely get on Marketplace and find those deals that are out there for sure. So we're going to replace the stock wheel today, and I'll show you guys along the way how to do it. Alright guys, first thing you're going to want to do, back here, don't mind my music, back here, pull your carpet up. And we're going to pull our negative off, kill power of the car. Now I recommend turning the key off, obviously, before you do it, so you don't interrupt the ECM communication. Okay, keys off. I'll just pull that ground. Mine's on there like hell, of course. Alright, just pull your ground off. And then I always take the carpet and I lay it back down in there. I just set my ground on top. Okay. Put your foam piece back over it, just protect it, nothing touches it. Obviously it's a ground, nothing's gonna happen, but alright, now our power is off. Guys, I always get this light in here too. I got this at Harbor Freight. It's real nice. It's called a Braun adjustable light. And then I put the rags in the top there so don't get scratched, but you can adjust your light and all that. Anyways, there's two tabs here. I'm gonna take a screwdriver and slide one on each side, just like this. Okay, one on each side. There's another one on the other side, on the right side, and you're gonna push in and pull out on the airbag, and this will release the airbag. So what I like to do is push one in, pop one side out while this is held in, and then do the other side until the airbag's loose. Okay, once the airbag's loose, we'll take off the connectors inside there and unattach all the harness, and I'll show you guys that next. Alright, like I said in that earlier video, I'm going to push this in. You can feel it click in there, and then start grabbing the bag. You can feel it pop out. Now you're going to leave this held in there and take another one on the other side and do the same thing. Now put your knee up on there, see that? And pull this off. Kind of get you in an awkward position, but it does work. Okay, once it's popped off, you can pull the screwdriver out and you'll feel it release. Okay? And there's the bag, it's out. I'll show you. Now we'll release these clips. Release the purple and pink first. Alright guys, to release these, see the little orange tabs? Just take a screwdriver, just like this. Okay. Lift that tab. You'll hear it lift up. Then you'll do the one on the right. Same thing, lift the tab, and then pop them off. On this right side one, it's a little tight. Right there. See where my screwdriver is, so make sure you use a nice flat head. Need a little pressure on that. Then take your other pick and get the other side. Alright, it'll literally fall out once the pink one gets done there. Then you got this little plug up here. Okay. Just gonna reach in there and unplug that. Then your airbag's out. Set this to the side in a safe place. Then we'll work on getting the harness loose out of here. This one's real easy too, guys. Just a thumb on the top there and that top tab, and she comes right out. I'll show you. Oops, excuse me. That's it. Okay. C7 airbag in all its glory. Set it over there next to your favorite pair of shoes. Okay. Alright, now we got this harness, okay? The harness runs all the controls. And if you're like me, I bought the whole wheel. I bought a new plate for this, so we're going to transfer all the controls over, the harness over, and we're going to unbolt the wheel right here. The wheel is keyed, so it can only go on one way, so you don't have to worry about, is my wheel going to be crooked? Am I going to, need an alignment? Blah, blah, blah. Pop this boy off. You can mark it like they did here at the factory. We recommend that. This arrow shows where the key is. So it's already indexed for you. You can't mess this up, guys. Of course, one of you will, but that's it. All right, we'll pop this harness off, and which is really easy, actually. Probably do it right here. This tab right here, up. Hard with the phone in my hand, but anyways, that tab up, and there's another one right here. Tab, pull that. Pull this one, and then we'll take the wheel off, put it on the bench, and take the controls out and put it in our new one. So what I did is I took this little flathead, put it in there, and then took my other hand, my left hand, put my thumb up on that tab, and this just pulls right out. And then same thing here. You can do this one out of the car if you want, because the wheel's coming off. But same thing there. Tab, pull it up. And the same on the right. Then pull the wheel. Alrighty, then you're gonna get you a T50 Torx, and I got my DeWalt impact here, fuck Milwaukee, and I'm going to slide around there and bang that wheel off quick. So, real easy. Simple as that, guys. Notice the blue Loctite. You're going to want to put that back on there. Don't put your wheel together without Loctite. Okay? Now you can see it. Our wheel's loose. So, I'll set the camera down here and we'll pull it up. Alright guys, once you break the Loctite loose in the gears there, kind of just smack it this way, and then give it a little vibration with both hands. The pink and purple harness stay on the car. The big plug harness stays on the wheel. So real easy. Pop it off. Then just make sure your plugs get through there. Okay. And then when the wheel goes back on, guys, obviously that plug there on the cock spring goes right back in this slot right here for the wheel plug to go on. Airbags go just like we took them off. So that's it. Steering wheel's out. Here's the factory wheel. If you did get an airbag cover, some wheels come with a new airbag cover. There's plenty of videos online to break this down. I didn't get one, but all this is a couple bolts, them blue bolts in the back, and this front cover comes off. And you can get, if like a Vicrez wheel came with one, or whatever, you got one from Extreme Auto, you can get a fancier one. But I like the Corvette logo, and we're going to put that back in our wheel. So I'm going to take this to the bench now and break it down as far as getting the controls out, getting the cover off, and then we'll put them into the new wheel, and then I'll show you guys what's going on putting it back in. Alright guys, we're out of the car now. We have the stock wheel here with the stock insert and the controls still in. And then we have the Vicrez carbon fiber wheel with the carbon flash insert. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove both these inserts right now and then start pulling the controls. So what you want to do to pull the insert out is just get your fingers up under here, and that's all it takes. It's something to pull it out, just a little bit of pressure. Okay, try and do it equally so you don't break any tabs. Okay, and once you get it off, you can see the plugs from the inside. Okay, so we'll get these plugs undone at these controls. See the gray one there? Real easy, you push the tab down right there, pull them off. Then you're gonna unscrew these controls and transfer them over to this wheel. Alright, now that we got the insert out, we gotta get the rest of the harness out. So we'll take a screwdriver here to that little black tab, and that'll pop off. This one, screwdriver behind here, and a little pressure forward, this comes right out. Okay, and then down here, we got a zip tie down there. Take your clippers, turn them upside down, get down in there and clip that off. Then, same thing as the other controls. Take your Torx bits here and get these two black ones off, and it should come right out. Same thing on the other side, and we'll transfer the harness and the controls and the new insert all together in the new wheel. Here's a close-up on the tab. All you do is push this forward. You can almost hear it pop. That's it, man. Same thing here. Push it in. It's kind of got a little spring load to it. That's it. Get your zip tie there and the harness is out. Okay, here's our harness. It'll lay in that steering wheel the same way it came out. You even take a new zip tie and get it in the same location if you can. Goes right in that hole, and it simply goes right to the back side of the wheel. See? So you just fish it through there, tighten that wheel down. You're gonna want that because, man, we abuse the shit out of these cars. So if your steering wheel's bouncing around, you get one of these clips loose, you don't have to take this apart again. So we'll reinstall the harness the same way after we put the controls in. Alright, to get the controls off, we got a T20 screwdriver, all 4 black bolts. Alright, we took the 2 black screws out, bolts, screws, whatever I call them. Alright, this slides right out. It's that easy. See this little groove here? Goes right in that groove there when you put it back. Okay, make sure it's seated, the screws back in. Simple as that here. Right in the new wheel. That's how easy that is. Okay, put the 2 screws back in there, or bolts, whatever I call them, right? Put those back in there. Do the right side, then I'll show you how to put the harness back in. Alright, same thing on the right side. 2 bolts or screws out. Set it flush into the new wheel. Make sure it sits nice. Okay. Put your 2 screws back in. Then we're going to work on the paddles. Paddle plugs here. Same thing. I believe it's the same size bolt, maybe a little bigger. Yeah, it's a little bigger. Maybe T25, T30. And the paddles will come out. Now, I wanted to upgrade my paddles. I didn't get a set in time, but we do have bigger ones coming. So we do have bigger paddles coming. Sorry, my video got cut off last time. We have bigger ones coming. You can get stick-on ones or aluminum ones. And unfortunately, we're going to have to take the airbag out of the wheel and the cover off again to change those paddles out. But the new ones click a little better and they're a little taller. So when you're turning the wheel going fast, you can actually shift the car. The C7, they put these paddles on the wheels versus the C6 where they have them on the console. So when the wheel turns, your paddle turns. So making them a little longer makes them easier to grab. So right now we're going to pull these paddles out and then slide them into there and then put our harness in, and I'll film that and show you guys what's going on there. Alright, the paddles are a T25. This guy off there. early on there. And they almost fall out, if you can see, while you're doing it. Paddles out. Same thing, right in the back of the wheel. No big deal. Repeat on the left side. Alright guys, don't mind me, I had to get a lunch break there. These things keep me alive, but I mentioned earlier that these torque screws gotta come out. That's not true. I don't know why I said that, but there's tabs here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You gotta just slide a screwdriver into those tabs, and these will actually pop right out. Then you just install them in the wheel, simply push them in. So when they come out, you loosen the tabs, and they kind of get stuck in the bottom here. Okay, so just make sure everything's loose, and then give it a little pressure, and it'll pop right up like that. Okay. Same thing on the on the install. Goes back in the new insert. Real easy. Bottom end first, right? Bottom end first. There we are. So pretty easy to get those off. Tab there, tab here, tab in the corner, and one on the top, and then pull it back. It'll get loose here and catch a little bit there, and just pull it back real gentle, and then install back on that side. Alright, got the other side out, same thing. Come from the back, bottom in first. You see this top's got a little dick on it there. Bottom in first. Set it in. Alright, now we're gonna get the harness in here first. And then sometimes it's easier to put these controls on the harness first. Okay. By that I mean plug these in first. Gray's left, black is right. Just because it's kind of difficult to get these in there. See how they hang up on the edge there. So if you can install these first. See how they kind of get stuck? It's kind of a pain in the butt when they're in the wheel. So install those first, then set it in there and get your harness going. Alright, before we put this in, I got the harness in there like we just talked about. Okay. Right side's black, left side's gray, just like we spoke about, that I talked about earlier. Alright, before we put that in though, we're going to set it aside. Try not to scratch it because it's nice paint. Yeah, we're going to take these paddles on the new wheel, and we're going to insert our paddles. Up shift on the right, they only go one way obviously. Slide them in there, and then just put your screws in. Do both sides, then get your insert in, and slide your zip tie in that hole there. I'll show you how to do that next. Alright, now when you put these in, they're not really tight to start with from the factory, so don't over tighten them, because remember you're working with this plastic here and you want this thing to work and not grab hard. So if you're pulling on the plastic a bunch, it's not going to work great for you. But same thing on the left side here. Slide that paddle up in there, toss your screw in there, don't over tighten it. Alright, here's our wheel. Got the paddles installed. Got the volume up and down and the favorite or seek buttons installed. Okay. Now we're going to take it and we're going to slide a zip tie in the back through the zip tie hole there. Alright, for the zip tie, you're going to insert it down into the hole. Okay. Then pull it all the way through. Sorry guys, I'm doing this one-handed, but you want to make sure this is down, as you can see there. See? Get it almost all the way to where you want it, because you're not going to have much room once you're done. Okay, then flip your wheel, and all this does is loop back through there. And the plastic keeps it tight enough. Okay. The plastic keeps it tight enough to where once you get this tight on the harness, it doesn't ever move, especially inside the wheel. So you can see what it did in the back. We just loop it back through itself. Okay. And we'll leave the big end down and pull the other one through. And we're gonna pull it through until it's pretty darn tight. And you'll see it right there. It gets kind of hung up. That's perfect. Hung up is good. It's only a little harness in there, so now you got it like this. And you can take one side of your harness and loop it in there. Okay. Maybe someday I'll get a camera guy. For now, this is it. Alright, so it's looped in there. You'll get everything set in. You'll reattach this side. We had to take that off to loop it through there, right? Or you could just loop the zip tie around the harness, however you want. I slid mine through, no big deal, right? Hook this back up, right on the back here. Do all your plugs, okay? This little guy goes down in here, and it just pushes in there and seats in there. You'll hear it snap in there. Good to go, right? This little guy here. There's that one there. Locked in place. Okay. So I'll finish up plugging this in, then I'll run back through it with you guys. Now with the little ones there, you want to make sure the tab's seated and push back. You hear it snap in there? If you don't snap it in there, this is going to pull out. And it'll pull out as soon as you pull this harness. Alright, so now everything's plugged in, okay? We can probably set the zip tie now that we got the lengths figured out. And we got room to wiggle around. And then do this last plug once this is set in. So, we just want to make sure this is square when we tighten our zip tie and pointed the right way to clip into the harness in the car. Right here. So we want to make sure the tab's up on that. Then it's centered, and then we'll pull our zip tie tight, put the center down, and close it out. So all I did was center it and pull it tight. Now I'll clip that end off. Okay, clipped off there. Now you can center this in here and kind of pull your slack loose. Pull the slack loose on this and get it centered in there. Okay, we got our harness out of the way. Everything's good to set in. So we're just going to apply some pressure. That's it. And then finish our last plug in, which is this one. Okay, that's plugged in. And push the harness out of the way back there behind the guard. Okay, steering wheel's ready to go in the car, guys. So everything's functional, or will be. Harness is centered. We got our zip tie in just the way it's supposed to be. You can finalize that if you want to pull it a little tighter. It's fine the way it is. So now we're going to take it back to the car and get it installed. Alright, we're back in the car here. Sorry if these videos take a while, guys. I'm trying to make them as detailed as possible while filming myself. My fiance is going to help film. And hopefully we'll hire someone full-time eventually to do all our giveaway builds and stuff like that. But for this one, you're going to pass these through the spot in the wheel and move this to the side, and that will plug in there, just like we talked about earlier. The wheel can only go in one way. It's keyed right here. You can see the slot, and then there's an arrow here. Those need to line up. It will only go that way because it's keyed in several places. Right? 3 spots, so it can only go on one way. Unless you're an idiot, you can fuck this up. But I'm gonna slide the wheel on. It's pretty self-explanatory here. Okay. Just gotta slide those in there. Okay. Keep your clock spring straight when you do it, and then set them up on there. Plug the black plug in before you put the wheel on. Alright, so you just set it on there and get the plug on first and slide it over there. She's on there, not going anywhere. Okay, take your bolt, make sure you either have enough Loctite left on it or put some fresh stuff on there. We're gonna put fresh on. Install it in there and then we'll torque it down. Alright, after you put your Loctite on, take your impact and run this in slow so it's not getting cross-threaded or anything like that. It'll start getting tight. And then just run it till it's tight. Okay, there's a torque spec for this. Get your torque wrench. I'll write it in the description below what the torque specs are. And then grab your airbag here and we'll get this plugged back in. So let's do that now. You're gonna want to do this black one first. Goes up in that left corner. Okay. And then these are color coded. Again, you can't mess this up. They just slide on there. The only thing that's holding these orange tabs. Just like I showed you when they come off, they just slide up. These just slide over there. So go ahead and do that first. Then these other ones, then center the airbag and slide it on there. So I'll get these plugged in and show you. Okay, there's that one plugged in, just like that first. And then get these other 2 in there and center it in there and apply some pressure. It'll pop right back into these holes. See? There we are, all installed. It's real easy. Purple first, and then square up here and slide that pink one in. Now make sure your wires are out of the way. I want to put these down here probably. Okay. And you'll feel it snap in there. Alright guys, this is the wheel installed. We're going to get it cleaned up. We got some Chemical Guys stuff here. This stuff works great. We're actually going to have our own products coming out at King's Diesel Supply. So our new site's going to be called kdsupply.com. It's just to ease things up when we're talking in ads and help people get to the site easier. So we're actually going to have our own interior and exterior products. They're going to be Renegade products, so they're going to be real high end. But I wanted to just jump in here quick and show you guys that this is what the wheel looks like when it's done. Everything's functional, just like we told you it would be. Alright, my volume buttons raise the volume. And my favorite button changes the channel like it's supposed to. Obviously my paddles are working, everything else does too. So we appreciate you guys watching the video. I know the filming is a little choppy on this one. We'll get better at it, but you got to start somewhere. So like and subscribe to the page, and we appreciate you following along. Peace.